So here we have the review of the Beta 300 two-stroke. Now I've been riding this for the last couple of days here in South Dakota on some amazing trails, and I have to say I'm really impressed with this bike. Gorgeous to look at, beautiful to ride, it's a sweet machine. What makes this machine, in my opinion, so good is its versatility. I mean, I'm not an expert trail rider by any means, but this bike was definitely taking me places that even I couldn't go. It's an incredible machine, it's got loads of torque. Even though it's only a 300cc, I was never short of power. It's got loads of bottom end, loads of mid-range, throw gears at it, sometimes just hanging onto the handlebars. This bike was hauling up some of these big hill climbs, and it was definitely better than I was on many occasions. There was even times out there in the woods that really I'd lost control of the bike and I thought I was going to go down, and somehow the bike corrected itself and kept me going. So the bike was really suited for that type of terrain. It's got great suspension here on the front and on the rear, really soaking up all of those bumps, making it really easy for you to give rider input. As a rider, you want to be able to do things with your motorcycle really quickly, and you can do that with a bike like this because it's lightweight, it's slim, and when the riding position, you've just got all the maneuverability that you need. Standing up on the pegs, you can get right above it, get over basically any obstacle, sit on the seat, and the rear tyre really digs in and grips and gives you full confidence here that you can really take this bike anywhere. And we did. We've been riding some trails that were far in excess of anything that I've done before on a motorcycle. So I was really kind of quite a newbie into some of this stuff. But the riders in front of me were riding the same bikes, and they jumped over stuff and went up hill climbs, went over logs. So I was kind of like, well, if they can do it, I'll give it a go. And the bike can take over and do the rest. So it's a really, really seriously good motorcycle. It comes as stock, with pretty much all of the components that you see here. Apart from this seat, there's a seat concept's much comfier, so if you're doing trail riding, forest trails, that kind of thing, this kind of seat would be a lot more comfortable because the stock one is very, very hard, which is fine for actual motocross racing or maybe a bit more competition. But if you're in the saddle all day, you're going to need a comfy seat. We've also got some bark busters here. That just really protects your hands when you're going through the woods. And we have been going through and past plenty of trees in the last couple of days. And I have to say, I've needed them on several occasions, going between trees and hitting the trunk. So I really recommend it to get something like this if you're going to hit the trails. But generally, the bike is absolutely superb. Also, this bike stops really well. It's got great feeling between the brakes. I felt really a lot of control. You're wearing a big motocross boot, so you don't always get good feel back through the boot, back into your foot. But this bike, I had a lot of feeling back through the rear tyre, gives me good confidence. I could skid the bike into some corners. Being a two-stroke, I was always into two-strokes as a kid. That's all I rode, so I love hearing a two-stroke, smelling those fumes. For me, I really enjoyed that. So being a two-stroke, I've really enjoyed riding this bike. So being a two-stroke, you've always got that problem of mixing gas. You've always got to mix the gas before, so it's all a pre-mixed situation. This bike isn't, it's oil injected. So you just go into a gas station, put your gas in there, make sure your oil tank's full, and the bike does the rest. That's another really special part about this motorcycle, because sometimes, to be honest with you, it's a lot of fun riding a two-stroke. It's not a lot of fun mixing gas between gas stations or taking oil with you on a trip if you want to do multiple tank loads. So oil injected, this bike has it, and I have to say that is a sweet thing. And if you ever did stall it, it's electric start, and I have to say another creature comfort with that electric start. There's no more kicking, so you've got a two-stroke that doesn't need any pre-mix. You don't need to kick it up, so two little creature comforts that make this bike super special. Now, there's a few little modes. There's basically here a full power mode, and if it's raining or you want a little softer power map at the top end with a simple click here from sunny mode to rain, you've got a softer motorcycle and a more manageable power band. But other than that, the bike's simple. Pair of handlebars, 2 wheels, some great suspension, and an awesome torquey engine. And what else do you need? This bike's got it all, it goes everywhere, and I've been super impressed. Now it's also got some siblings. There's the 250, the 200, the 125. Now the 200 shares the chassis with the 125, even though it's a different engine. The 250 and the 300 share the same chassis. Just a difference in the top end between the 250 and the 300. So you've got lots of different stages of motorcycles, from small cc right up to this 300, to pick and choose really which one's right for you. I must admit, I really enjoyed riding the 200 because the power was a little softer. I felt like I was a little lower to the ground, and I'm only 5'9", so sometimes with my little legs I really struggle in some of those tall situations when the bike's really tall. But overall, man, I've enjoyed this bike. It's been so much fun. And it's typical Italian. It's done to perfection, and this bike is no exception. Top do, and I absolutely love it. If you're into trail riding, if you're into hitting those trails and never looking back, take a look at this machine. You'll be super impressed. Hell yeah, so good. And another thing about a two-stroke, back in the old days, it used to all be about, or not necessarily the old days, sorry, start again.
This temperature, and it seems they got their jetting down really good.
Yeah, great.
Where a lot of companies don't have it
yeah.
figured out.
Oh, mic on. Okay, so yeah.